Greetings, everyone.
Hello.
We are currently trapped inside of a computer.
Behind on my deliveries this cycle.
Again?
I blame Rumppy.
I'm just a simple email script. I
Do.
I know what you are.
Nah, I just blame you. It's easier to blame. Well, it's easier to blame you or Sophie.
Where do we begin?
I mean, what specifically?
I serve Thorn, my master user.
Meanwhile, in the real world,
Jet,
Oh,
do you think
no,
your dad
my
would
crypto
mind if I had some of
crashed.
his popcorn?
Huh? Oh, sure. Have all you want.
okay, This is
Yeah.
the son of
I'm
Alan
surprised
from the
you
first
turned
Tron
down a level
movie.
6 programming position. Look, Dad,
I
know
brought
you're
this up in
disappointed.
my Tron
I'm
review.
disappointed.
He reminds me a
I pulled
lot,
a lot of
like
strings to get you to get over
visually reminds me a lot of the
I plan to enjoy it.
it. You sound like Flynn.
I can't remember the character's name.
Hold on, son. Mathria,
Postal
run a
dude.
security diagnostic.
From Postal 2. Just
Results.
without, just like a slightly nerdier version of him.
Jet, we'll have to continue this conversation later.
Anyway, I wanted to ask, so have you seen any of the Tron movies?
I've just seen the original and like
Dad, can you hear me?
It's almost like those are literally the only two movies.
Mathria,
no,
where's my father?
but that's all I've seen so far. I've never seen the show.
What do you
I
mean?
heard that was really good, but I never saw that show.
Uprising, the show, it is really good, and it's actually the entire series is on
Stop
Disney
what you're
Plus.
doing.
Ah, cool.
So if you have Disney Plus,
Clear digitizing
I
bay.
might have.
but
Hey, who left the
it's what-
laser on? You're not taking the day off for this.
In fact, not only are you not taking the day off, technically we're gonna have you working overtime, just inside the computer.
I should talk to my union.
I love this opening tile sequence so much. But I assume you haven't played any of the Tron games in that
No,
case.
I have
then.
not.
So I think this is the first Tron game that I even knew about. But this one is hilariously enough, or at least hilariously enough for me, made by the exact same people who did the No One Lives Forever games. Yeah. And in fact, actually, if I remember correctly, runs on the same engine.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah. So this is for anyone who's still wondering. This is Tron 2.0. I am sad because when Tron Legacy came out, they basically said that this game is no longer considered canon. Granted, as we go on later as we get further and further into the game, you'll understand why this is no longer this game is not considered canon. Because Tron Legacy actually contradicts anything. Also, I am using the Killer App mod, which is why we have the which is why we actually have widescreen, and more importantly, I did activate the gold sheet. That basically gives me access to literally everything.
Convenient.
Yeah, so I have access to every upgrade in the game. All of, like, health, energy, everything is maxed out. Like, I don't have to worry about like allocating like experience points to them. They're all maxed out. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I actually recommend, if you're just starting out on Tron 2.0, use that cheat. Because this game gets deceptively difficult.
Oh, jeez, how bad could it be?
If you don't know what you're doing, you're dying like left and right.
You're dying left and right. No, but seriously though, I just saw a bunch of time duplicates of you, and they were just falling on a big rock. And should we be concerned about that?
Yeah, maybe later.
I don't like that answer.
Look, I was busy playing Lemmings. But I also love, because this game was released in 2003 with a port to the original Xbox a year later. Can't think also. But with it being sort of like a 20th anniversary game, it actually takes more visual cues from the original Tron, which is why it looks a lot more neon than the darker effects that Legacy took. I think speaking of, because I did mention I did review Tron 2.0 on my review channel. It is kind of funny to me because the subtitle that I had for my review was derezzed from canon. I also want to bring up, so I don't go. First off, this is getting off topic from what I was gonna say, but I don't go for all of them. But I do kind of hang on the emails. If you guys are, if anyone watching wants to pause and read those emails, go ahead. They actually fill in important lore bits that the cutscenes do not show.
Oh, glitchy, nobody's watching.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In the next sector, there is an archive bin that contains a subroutine that will enable you to jump higher.
This is one of the weirder things when it comes to using the gold cheat, because you technically already have that subroutine.
Locate the archive bin and retrieve the subroutine
But
stored inside.
you would technically already have that subroutine, but you don't get it until going into this area. You can technically use the I think it's called like Y jump. It's either like Y jump or V jump, or something. But you can use the subroutine and actually have actually bypass this entire sort of tutorial section.
That's convenient.
Yeah. It's just a funny thing that I noticed with the killer app mod. Ow. But going back to the design of the game, I love how I love how the weapons look, because the one I'm using right now is technically it's like a shotgun weapon. There is a weapon which is referred to as the LOL. And
LOL?
Yes. And that one is a sniper rifle.
Well, I mean, sniping fools is always funny.
A lot of the weapons have interesting names. And of course, with it being a Tron game, like the base weapon is the disc, which I guess would be the equivalent of like a pistol. Okay, I'm kind of just wandering around. It's like, I remember there being enemies in this section. Where the fuck are the enemies?
They break.
Also, if you notice the top left, as we do certain things, we will get our build number will increase. That's basically character level. Meanwhile,
These two dudes.
Colonel
I'm
system
just my
scans
balls
indicate
right now,
partitions
but
5 through 32 are infected.
I'm in front of the
All
boss.
right access privileges and send
can't do it in front of the boss. Don't want to embarrass myself.
Have you isolated the source? Not yet, sir. However, we've picked up the signature of an unauthorized program in the sector. Quarantine and bring the program to me immediately.
Oh, sir, you might catch a cold.
That was terrible.
Every ICP member needs a lozenge.
So what are you?
I do like.
A bit. Ha. I'm a bite.
I do like the
The
ICPs in Tron 2.0 are not as bad as, say, in the original Tron.
Strange little creature. What are they?
Because here they're basically just cops trying to enforce their they are cops trying to enforce and maintain the system, and it's more of a they're doing their job as opposed to actually being vindictive.
You do not have the proper permission set to enter the power stream control sector. Follow me.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're still villains. Also, the weapon I just equipped, for people curious, so I had mentioned there was the shotgun weapon that I was holding a second ago. This purple one is basically a rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher.
Not only is it a rocket launcher, but it also is a rocket launcher that basically creates a black hole that will zap the health of any program in the area. And when I say any program, I mean even passive NPCs, which can be a problem. Because if you accidentally kill a passive NPC, it actually counts as a game over.
Huh. Damn NPC and their unions.
No way, back to the shotgun. You know, while I remember, I'm gonna while I remember, I'm gonna look up the names of
Look at the what?
I'm gonna look up names for the weapons. Before I forget though, I do love, so the mod I'm using for Tron 2.0 is the Killer App mod, which I recommend that mod just in general because it gives the game widescreen support and actually improves the game, and it can be applied to pretty much any version of Tron 2.0. Okay, here we go. So we have the disk primitives, which are just like the regular disk and everything.
The corruption is spreading. We must keep.
Then we have the rod primitives, one of which is the one that I'm using now, which is referred to as the suffusion rod. And like I said, it's basically the
source of the corruption.
Now this is unexpected. These blueprints are the source of
More sea lights are popping up.
losing my train of thought. The suffusion rod, like I had mentioned, is basically a shotgun. The regular rod primitive that we will not get until I want to say either next part or part 3.
Can you tell me how to get to the exit port?
Is basically
The
like
exit port
a
is located beyond the power stream.
sort of.
Possible. The auto exec is broken. You'll need to cycle the
It's
power
kind
stream
of like a
manually. Don't get too
taser
close to the power streams.
in a way. Then there's the LOL rod, which I mentioned earlier, which that's the sniper, which is also my favorite weapon in the game. So you'll probably see me once I equip it, you'll probably see me use it for most of the game. And I love that if you get a headshot with the LOL weapon, Jet just exclaims, "Yes!" Like he's excited that he got a headshot.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Get this ability.
There is also there are the ball programs, which are. I'm not running. There are the ball programs that you can get, which are, those are the ones that the virus enemies will use, when we see the viruses later. Those are essentially grenades, although, those are essentially grenades, and there's the regular one, there's the ball launcher, which is essentially a grenade launcher. But there's the drunken dims.
Restore order to the system.
The drunken dims kind of works. I remember working like a machine gun. I don't remember using it much.
Stop executing escape routes.
And then there is the mesh forms, which we don't get until fairly later. Ow. But the
Illegal program detected in exit port sector. Quarantine protocol fields raised.
the regular mesh primitive is basically the submachine gun of the game. You have the energy claw, which will actually drain energy from an opponent. And then you have the prankster bit, which is the rocket launcher one that I was mentioning earlier. So I probably should have mentioned this earlier. I recorded this game about a month ago, and when I was recording this game, my trackball mouse, the trackball mouse that I had been using for a good 2 years, which I love, stopped working. So a lot of times you will see me looking dead on at an enemy, and like right now, looking dead on at an enemy and not actually firing my weapon. That's because the left mouse button on the mouse, at some point stopped working to a point where it would not read me actually clicking it. So yeah, so a lot of times you'll just see me standing around not actually hitting anything. That's why. Because genuinely, the left mouse button on that trackball stopped working.
Hmm.
For anyone wondering, I have replaced that mouse. I have replaced the mouse since then. Hilariously enough, with another trackball mouse, because I had just gotten so used to using a trackball mouse that it just feels comfortable, and using another type of mouse feels weird to me. So I just got used to it, and so I very intentionally, like, when I knew I had to replace my mouse, said, all right, fuck it, I'm getting I will get another trackball mouse, and I have a wireless, a nice wireless Logitech mouse.
Quarantine protocol measures offline.
So I'm happy that I was at least able to upgrade to wireless. Ow.
Incompetent scripts. Find out where that port leads. Yes, Colonel.
Have to be so mean.
Uh-oh.
Freeze program.
I did not mean to get to this system.
Query index 224-C. Unauthorized use of resources. Program quarantine in connection to spreading virus. User unknown. State your origin.
You're making a big mistake.
That's a weird origin.
Reveal your creation date before I disassemble your code one operation at a time.
Well, I was born in
Jesus,
82.
man.
Impossible. You are much too complex to be from that period. You have been accused of spreading a viral agent through the system. What is the intended goal of this sabotage?
I'm not responsible for that virus.
Enough. Who is your user?
I am a user.
Blasphemy. Regulars, put the prisoner in a bin.
Wait, you can't
Oh,
do
okay.
this. I'm a
Like
user.
we know that Jet is a user, but I understand the Colonel being.
Refuse to cooperate and is considered incompatible.
I understand the Colonel being upset with him
Put him on the
suggesting that he is a user, because that's like me going to the police and saying I'm a god.
Take them to the staging pit.
Anyway, we will be doing light cycle races next part.
Ooh, fun.
You say fun, like light cycle races. Light cycle races are one of the things that are the most pain in the ass in this game if you don't know what you're doing.
Hmm.
They are fun. They are fun, and I enjoy them. And I love that there's an entire multiplayer mode dedicated just to the light cycle races. But they are also a pain in the ass if you don't know what you're doing. Also, Dancing Spider-Man on the bottom right corner. If nobody noticed it until now, there's your warning.
Alright.
All right, we'll see you guys
Told
next.
you not to say anything.
We'll
Alright,
see you
you
guys
later.
next part.
See ya.